This is Laura. I'm going to show you a Poppins Hip carry with a size 3 woven wrap and 1 sling ring. This variation actually makes it poppable, or at least kind of poppable. Lets you at least get the basic part of it in before you get your baby. So I'm going to start with my middle marker just in front of my hip on the side I'm going to want my baby on. You can kind of adjust. If you have a very small baby, you might want to start right on your hip. If you have a toddler, the bigger the child, the closer to the belly button you move. But I'm just going to do about halfway in between. And then I'm going to take the tail, come up behind my back, pull it up over my shoulder. This is going to be I'm going to call it my stationary tail. I'm not going to do much with it, but I am going to get it tidy so that I can adjust it more easily later. It's really dark in here. I'll see it. Okay. Now I'm going to take my sling ring. I'm using a medium. I'm sure a large would do fine, especially for a thicker wrap. This one's kind of a medium weight, medium ring, works for me. And I'm just going to lay it over and make it into kind of a cuff coming through here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and put my hand through this. And while it's here, make sure it's kind of spread out. The last time I did this and tried to make a video, I got it too bunched up, and I had a lot of trouble tightening it properly, so I didn't have like saggy rails. Okay, so now I have my cuff. I'm going to take my other tail, my hip tail, and I'm going to go ahead and feed it up through my cuff. And again, I'm going to tighten it nice and straight, strand by strand. Pull it through. Long tail. Okay. Again, make sure this is nice and neat. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and pull down on my stationary tail to kind of lock this in place a little better. We're going to do the adjusting for it later. But as you can see, this is pretty easy to slide. Didn't tighten it so much that it wasn't. And this is also pretty easy to sort of, it's a little, you can pull it up higher by loosening out your cuff up here and then pulling down on the tail at the bottom. And I do want mine a little bit higher, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to get my baby. My baby's actually at the babysitter. So we're using Bacon. Bacon is a dragon. And he's very hard to get a good seat on, so don't judge me. Tails, man, tails. So I'm going to take him and I'm going to put him in his pocket. Okay. Get this pass up nice and high. And pull his legs out. Look, I kept his tail in. And I'm going to go ahead and come in and get a nice deep seat. If he had a belly button, it'd be up to it. This is a pretty good seat. And he likes to be arms out. Okay? So now I'm going to take the time to go ahead and tighten this. I know exactly how tight I need it now. Tighten it top rail. As you can see, it's a little bit loose. I'm going to pull. Much better. And tighten all the way through. Including the bottom rail. Just make sure you don't pull your seat out if you tighten the bottom rail too much. Done that before? Not the most fun. Okay. There we go. Very good. And I'm going to take my over the shoulder tail, make sure it's nice and where I want it. As you can see, this rail on the outside of my shoulder is a little loose, and this one inside is a little tight. So we're going to go ahead and adjust that to where it's a little bit more even throughout. But as you can see, he's not really going anywhere. He's still got a pretty good seat there. So just kind of keep a hand on him. Obviously this isn't a real baby, so you don't have to worry about it as much, but you'll want to keep your arm around him. Make sure nothing goes wrong. Okay. Now I have a tail that comes out the side and a tail that comes out the bottom. And I'm going to take my tail that comes out of the side and make the Poppins path on it. So I'm going to go back over the first one. Keep it nice and high on his back. I'm going to reach around behind me. Pull it around. Okay. Do the same thing with the bottom rail and kind of try to keep it nice and firm on his back all the way around. And then take my stationary tail, make a knot. There we go. So this is the Poppins hip carry with a single sling ring variation. There it is right there. It's not as visible as it is in a lot of ring carries, but it's okay. It makes it very easy to tighten. And I like that a lot in Poppins. I think that's a complaint that I hear a lot about the Poppins carry is it's really hard to tighten. So there you go. Enjoy!